Ever feel like you're like navigating a battlefield, even if it's just, your inbox or a tough conversation with someone?
Totally.
That's kind of what we're diving into today with Sun Tzu's The Art of War. But
get ready for a twist.
Yeah, a twist. You brought us excerpts, and this isn't just about like ancient armies.
Not at all.
It's about outsmarting opponents you might meet every day.
Absolutely. What's fascinating is that even before we get to all the strategies and the really tactical stuff, there's a battle going on about Sun Tzu himself.
Okay.
Did this military mastermind even exist?
Okay, now that's how you hook a listener.
All right.
It's like the ultimate history mystery.
Yeah.
We have this book, The Art of War, praised by scholars, like we were talking about Sima Qian. But when Sima Qian wrote his big historical record, the Shi Qi Qi, he mentions Sun Tzu as a general, but then says he won't discuss him further.
Right. It's a very conspicuous omission.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah. And then we have the Tsochuan, which is a chronicle from closer to Sun Tzu's supposed time, and it's like he never existed.
Wow.
Which is bizarre. For someone who was supposedly advising kings and winning wars, you'd think there'd be more of a paper trail.
Yeah, you think he'd be bragging about it, or somebody would at least.
You'd think so.
So what are we supposed to make of this? Was Sun Tzu like a pen name, a myth? Or did a brilliant strategist just somehow get erased from history?
It's a really good question, and it's one that scholars have debated for, centuries. Some scholars believe that Sun Tzu might have been a pseudonym, which would explain why he's missing from these other records. Maybe, like, the real author wanted to stay anonymous.
I could see that, yeah. It's like they're leaking a top-secret battle plan, but making it philosophy.
Exactly. But then, on the other hand, the writing itself feels so incredibly experienced. For example, Sun Tzu uses this very vivid analogy comparing a general's adaptability to the ExperA.I.mental snake.
Okay.
You hit its head, the tail attacks. You go for the tail, the head strikes.
Oh, wow.
And it just screams battlefield wisdom, not just some guy kind of theorizing in his, ivory tower somewhere.
That's a great point, yeah. It's hard to fake that kind of detail. Though we may never know for sure WHO Sun Tzu was.
Yeah. Precisely. But here's the thing. Whether he was a real person or a very clever invention, the insights in this book have resonated for centuries.
Right.
And they're not just for, generals on a battlefield.
So we've got this potential ghost, Sun Tzu, dropping wisdom that's somehow still relevant thousands of years later.
I know, right?
Okay, let's dig into the tactics themselves.
Yeah.
When you brought these excerpts, what really stood out to you?
Honestly, going in, I was expecting a lot more like charge.
Right.
And a lot less let's strategize.
Yeah.
But Sun Tzu is all about outsmarting your opponent. And not always in the way you'd expect.
Yeah.
Like chapter 2, for instance, is almost entirely about deception.
Okay, hold up. We're not talking about like faking a moon landing here, right?
Yeah.
What kind of deception are we talking about?
Think of it more like strategic ambiguity. Okay.
Sun Tzu writes, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive.
Oh, wow.
It's about making your opponent completely misjudge your strengths and your intentions.
So it's not about lying. It's about being selectively revealing.
Yes.
Like a poker face, but for your whole strategy.
Exactly. And that has so many applications, even outside of like a literal battlefield. Like, let's say you're negotiating a raise at work.
Okay. Good.
You don't want to walk in like you're about to, conquer Rome.
Right.
Make them think they're getting a good deal.
Ooh, that's kind of genius.
Right.
Though my poker face could use some work. What other kind of counterintuitive moves does Sun Tzu recommend?
He's surprisingly big on picking your battles.
Okay.
Chapter 3 really digs into this. Knowing when to fight is as crucial as knowing how W.
He actually emphasizes avoiding prolonged conflict whenever possible.
That makes sense because even if you're winning every little skirmish, it's going to drain your resources eventually.
Exactly.
Is that kind of what he's getting at?
Absolutely. It's about resource management, whether that's your time, your money, your energy.
Right.
Don't exhaust yourself over every little hill if the real objective is, like, miles away.
Right.
Sun Tzu would say, save your strength for the battles that truly matter.
This is blowing my mind.
I know, right?
We're talking about applying ancient military strategy to salary negotiations.
Totally.
And like picking which arguments are even worth having with your partner.
It's wild.
But I still have to ask, like, how far can we really take this?
That's where I think Sun Tzu's 5 essentials for victory come in. Think of them less as like rules for winning wars and more like a framework
Okay.
for tackling any challenge life throws at you,
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Hit me.
Hit me with these essentials.
Okay, so the first one, and as we've kind of touched on already, is knowing when to fight.
Right.
And when to just walk away. Like,
yeah.
Don't waste your energy on battles that won't actually get you closer to, like, your ultimate goal.
Right. Choose your battlefields wisely.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, what's next?
The second essential is preparation.
Okay.
And observation.
Okay.
Sun Tzu was really big on knowing the terrain,
Right.
the enemy's strengths, the enemy's weaknesses,
Yeah.
gathering intel before making a move.
Okay.
So,
So like in a modern battlefield,
Yeah.
that could be anything from like researching your boss before you go in for a performance review.
Totally.
Like really understanding your partner's perspective in an argument.
Yes, all of that. Information is key to making good decisions, right?
Right. Right. Okay. Building your battle plan.
Exactly. And then the third essential is building a strong team,
Okay.
because a unified team all working toward a shared goal
Yeah.
is way more powerful than just a scattered group with, conflicting agendas.
Oh, man.
Right.
Sun Tzu would have loved those trust fall team building exercises.
Absolutely.
Right.
He was all about it. But seriously, though, think about it.
Yeah.
How much easier is it to achieve something when you've got people supporting you, offering their own diverse skills, and, keeping morale high?
Sure.
That's kind of what he was getting at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, what's essential number 4?
Timing.
Okay.
Sun Tzu really stresses recognizing the right moment to act when the conditions are most favorable.
Right.
It's about patience, observation, and then decisive action when the opportunity arises.
Don't rush in, but don't hesitate when the time is right.
There you go.
Okay, I'm sensing a real theme here.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu was all about strategy over brute force.
100%.
Okay, what's the 5th essential?
This one is so relevant, even today, and it's the danger of outside interference.
Ooh.
Even if it comes from a good place.
Okay.
Even if everyone has good intentions, too many voices or, attempts to help can completely derail your plans.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's like when you're trying to make a decision and everyone has an opinion, and you're like, okay, I need less advice.
Exactly.
Suddenly I'm more confused.
Sun Tzu would recognize that as a disruptive force, whether it's micromanagement at work, conflicting advice from well-meaning friends, or even your own self-doubt creeping in.
Yes!
These external pressures, they can really be your downfall if you let them.
That's so true.
Right.
This has been incredibly eye-opening.
It's fascinating stuff.
So if there's one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with, what is it? What's the essence of the art of war for, the modern person?
I think it's this. It's not about seeking out conflict.
Okay.
It's about achieving your goals with the least amount of struggle. Like Sun Tzu would say, the greatest victory is the one you win without even having to fight.
Oh.
Right.
Meaning, sometimes the smartest move is knowing when to engage.
Yes.
When to yield.
100%.
And how to use strategy to navigate towards your goals, whatever those may be.
Exactly.
It's about being smart, not just strong.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
This has been an amazing deep dive into the art of war.
I agree.
We've gone from battlefield tactics to boardrooms.
It applies to everything.
From ancient wisdom to, surprisingly relevant advice for today.
Right.
So what are your 5 essentials for tackling life's challenges?
Yeah, good question.
Head over to our social media and let us know. We'll see you in the next episode, ready to dive into a brand new topic.